Welcome guys to a tutorial video on how to summon different types of monsters in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Using the game mechanics. Anyways, let's get right into it. Fusion Summoning. So for the Fusion Summon, you require a Fusion spell card, such as Polymerization or the other Polymerization. So Polymerization have two different artworks. So you Fusion Summon one Fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or side field as Fusion material. As well as Fusion Substitute is always treated as the name of Polymerization and has a different effect, but it's pretty similar. You can Fusion Summon one Fusion monster from your extract using monsters you control as Fusion materials. So the only difference is you can only use monsters you control, while Polymerization can use monsters from your hand or side of the field as well. But Fusion Substitute has an additional effect in the graveyard. You can banish it from your graveyard and target one Fusion monster in your graveyard, return to the extra deck, then draw one card. So it has some recycle power. An example of Fusion Summoning happening could be this. Dark Magician in your hand, Buster Blader on the field, or vice versa, or they're both in your hand, or they're both on the field, doesn't matter. You activate Polymerization, you fuse them both together to form Dark Paladin. So that is how you Fusion Summon, using a Polymerization spell card. Fusion Summoning can also have different types of spell cards, such as Miracle Fusion, Shaddoll Fusion, even Metamorphosis Fusion, a new Fusion spell card. So yeah, there's different types of Fusion spell cards, not just limited to Polymerization. There's even Fusion spell cards that aren't normal spell cards, such as Brilliant Fusion, which is a continuous spell card that can Fusion Summon. Flash Fusion is a quick play spell card. Fusion Gate is a field spell card with a capability of fusing monsters. Other stuff could include Super Polymerization, quick play spell card. Is actually banned because it's that powerful. You can Fusion Summon from your extra deck using monsters from either side of the field as Fusion material. Also, cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation, which makes it pretty OP. Other cards, El Shaddoll Winda. So this card requires a Shaddoll monster and a Dark monster. So it's not specific like Dark Paladin, which requires a Dark Magician and a Buster Blader. This one's more generic in the case of requiring just a Dark monster, any Dark monster, even Karibo, right? It works. And any Shaddoll monster works as well. Five-Headed Dragon, 5 dragon monsters. That's pretty generic for any dragon monster specifically. As well as Inferno Terra. Fusion materials can be even more than 5 monsters, such as the 5-Headed Dragon requiring 5 dragon type monsters. This card, 1 or more Infernoid monsters. So you can fuse like 10 Infernoids somehow. You fuse 10 Infernoids and then you can make Inferno Terra. So you can have endless amounts of fusion material for your fusion monster. Contact Fusion Summons refer to monsters that are able to fusion summon using monsters you control without using a fusion spell card, such as a Polymerization or any other fusion spell card that we mentioned earlier. So the earliest form of contact fusion could be XYZ Dragon Cannon. Although in the anime it was never referred to as a contact fusion, it's basically a contact fusion, because in the main description it says you do not use Polymerization, which means it is contact fusion if it has that description right there. So you banish X Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank to Fusion Summon, Contact Fusion Summon, XYZ Dragon Cannon. Ritual Beast Ulticonhawk is also a fusion monster that is contact fusion as well. You do not use Polymerization, and you gotta banish the above monsters you control as fusion material. Contact fusion can also work in other ways, such as Gladiator Beast Gazarus and Elemental Hero Aeroneos. They both do not require Polymerization, which signifies them as a contact fusion summon monster, as well as you gotta return the monsters you control to your deck to fusion summon these guys. So instead of banishing like the other two you saw, these guys return the fusion materials back to your deck. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. You can banish either side of the field machine type monsters, so that's a pretty good effect because you can get rid of your opponent's monsters, right? Your opponent's machine type monsters, and just contact fusion into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Not even fusion summoning. So this is basically for Mass Change and Mass Change 2 to summon Masked Hero Darklaw. This card, in the description, it doesn't even have fusion material monsters. It says must be special summoned with mass change and cannot be special summoned in other ways. It's still technically a fusion monster, but it doesn't have fusion materials, which is kind of strange. But that's how mass heroes work. Fusion substitution. So King of the Swamp can actually substitute as a fusion material monster for other fusion monsters, such as the Dragon Master Knight. If you fuse into Dragon Master Knight, you require a Blackluster Soldier or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Usually getting the Blackluster Soldier is easier, so you just need Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which is pretty hard, I would say. But using King of the Swamp, you can fuse Blackluster Soldier and King of the Swamp substituting for the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You can fusion summon into Dragon Master Knight. Cyber End Dragon in particular, a fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials monsters. So you cannot use King of the Swamp for Cyber End Dragon because it has this condition, because King of the Swamp is not the above fusion monsters, which is Cyber Dragon. So you gotta watch out for that. Other fusion substitution. Elemental Hero Prisma. This works for the Cyber End Dragon because you can send and reveal a Cyber End Dragon and just send a Cyber Dragon from your deck to your graveyard. For my example, I have Dark Paladin here. You can reveal Dark Paladin, then send a Dark Magician or Buster Blade to the graveyard, and its name is now treated as whatever you sent to the graveyard. You cannot use it for El Shaddoll Winda because El Shaddoll Winda does not have a specific fusion material. It only says a dark monster. You cannot send a dark monster for Elemental Hero Prisma because Prisma requires you to have a specific name. Same with the Shaddoll monster. You cannot send a Shaddoll monster because that is not a specific name either.